Setting boundaries in a relationship isn't about creating distance, it is actually about building respect and trust. But if you're not careful, it can come off as being cold or even being selfish. Welcome back to Heart Matters with Frank Ado, and today we want to talk about how to set healthy boundaries without pushing our partners away. One of the most important but most misunderstood parts of a healthy relationship is setting boundaries, and here is the truth. Now, setting a boundary isn't about building a wall, it is actually about building bridge with clear limits that protect both people involved. Now, let's talk about how or what healthy boundaries actually look like, why we avoid them, and how you can express them without feeling guilty or even pushing your partner away. Listen, boundaries are like invisible lines that define where you end and someone else begins. So they are like the guidelines you create to feel safe, respected, and emotionally secure. Now, a simple example here is telling your partner or someone that you don't receive or respond to texts after 10 p.m. And that's because that's your time to unplug. You ask for space when you are upset rather than diving into a conversation you're not ready for. That's just another one. And you can also express that certain jokes or topics make you uncomfortable. That is equally a boundary. I mean, these are personal boundaries that have to be respected. Boundaries aren't about shutting people out. I think they are just about showing people how to love, how to treat, how to honor, and how to respect the well-being of other people. Whenever you set boundaries, you are not rejecting others, you are actually protecting your relationship. Boundaries set trigger fear of rejection, fear of being seen, or being hurt too much, or even fear of being left. People feel insecure. Maybe you grew up in a home where no was meant with anger or guilt, or maybe you learned to please people because it kept the peace. But here is what you need to know. People who truly respect you will respect your boundaries. And those who don't, they've likely been benefiting from your silence, and they can always, manipulate you. Now, let's talk about how to set a boundary the right way without sounding harsh or defensive. Here is a simple framework. For example, I feel overwhelmed when we talk about serious things late at night. So I need us to save those conversations for early in the day or probably in the afternoon. This way, you are speaking from your experience and not pointing fingers. You are not also attacking the individual or your partner. You are rather inviting understanding. And so you are showing your partner how to meet your needs while giving them the space to do the same. It's not about being selfish, actually. It's just giving that time, that space for the next day. It is also important to understand the difference between setting a boundary and trying to control someone. It's very important. Saying you are not allowed to talk to your ex is not control. But saying I feel uncomfortable when that relationship affects our trust, and if it continues, I may need to reassess what's best for me is a boundary. Okay, so you have to get the difference. Now, one tries to manage someone else's behavior, the other defines how you will protect your peace. Boundaries are about you and not about changing someone else. Now, let's be honest. Not everyone will react positively when you set a boundary. You have to keep that in mind. Some people might take it personally. Some might accuse you of being distant, dramatic, selfish, or probably even cheating. And that is okay. Their reaction is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to stay grounded in your truth. The key is consistency. If you state a boundary and then immediately apologize for it or abandon it when it's challenged, you are teaching others that you didn't mean it. Stay calm, stay kind, but stay firm. Again, stay calm, stay kind, but please stay firm. So what actually happens when you set healthy boundaries? The truth is you start to feel safe. You feel less anxious, you begin to trust yourself more. And here is the best part. your relationship also often improve, because now they are built on mutual respect and not silent resentment. Boundaries don't actually end relationships, they rather protect them. And so they clarify expectations, reduce misunderstandings, and help both people show up more authentically. Please hear me. If you have been afraid to speak up, this is your reminder that it is okay to take up space. You don't need permission to protect your peace. And please start with something small. One honest conversation, one clear request, one moment where you put your needs into words. And remember this, you are not asking for too much. You are not being selfish, and you are simply choosing not to abandon yourself in the name of love. And that's because love without boundaries isn't love. It is self-abandonment. And you were never meant to disappear in a relationship. You were meant to be seen, heard, and honored. Start today, start with you, and start with something that is small with your partner. Set that boundary, and you thank me later. If you find these tips or this message helpful, please subscribe, like the button, and please do share. As I always say, please protect your heart, because your heart matters to me and your heart matters to yourself. And so please keep it safe. Until then, see you in the next video.